everybody. Thanks for being here. We're excited to share with you the Heatseeker stuff. Hopefully you've been on those Tuesday calls with Jen, and we're going to talk a little bit about how to incorporate and create curiosity with the MREA playbook and one sheets from MegaCamp.
Yeah, and before you guys get started, one of the benefits Rich and I have is that we have the ability to work with so many team leaders, and we ourselves have been in the role for many, many years. So we know what you can do to use this tool to get conversations started or conversations restarted. So we're really excited to help you today.
Does everybody first know how to access your Heatseeker people, your leads?
Yep, so if you're screen on, raise your hand if you feel like you know how to do that. Okay, we got just a few. Okay, great. We're going to cover that step by step today. And for those of you, if you look in the chat, I just put a YouTube link. If you just open that up, you'll be able to watch this later. And this is what takes you even slower through this screen by screen process to retrieve that. So feel free to open that and save it for later. And then Rich and I are just going to go through the basic steps for you so that you know how to get at this information.
Yes.
Okay.
So the first, go ahead, Jessica.
Yeah, so we're in Command MC. So you're going to log in Command and you're going to click on Command MC and you're going to go under Recruit Management. So think of your pipeline as people that you're really having conversations with, and you're discussing recruiting and discussing a move, whereas your recruit management is more or less your database. And when you get in here, all you have to do is click on that smart view, and there's a pre-made Heatseeker version. So you don't need to create that. That's already there for you. And if you just click on that, the updated material will pop up regularly for you. Now, I know that they're refreshing this weekly, and their goal is to make this in real time, I believe, at some point. So just know this is great information and a great focus on your calls every day. Now, when you click on Recruit Detail, everything you need is right there, you guys. So you can call right from here. You've really all the information that you need. So, this is kind of a no-brainer. I wish we would have had Heatseeker when I was a team leader. I don't know about you, Rich, but this is like such an unfair advantage that you have. And yet Rich and I can tell you real-time stories of super wins that are going on, and really what are those team leaders, assistant team leaders, or agents saying. So that's what we want to share next, right, Rich?
Yeah. So in the chat, right, is you step-by-step video on how to access this, those of you who don't know how to find your people. And before we get into what to do when you call somebody, just a couple success stories. I was just talking to somebody, I think Jessica, they're from Florida, one of my coaching clients earlier today, Preston Murphy, and he's at gross 10 for cappers. He is about 50% on the people on his Heatseeker that he's reaching out to, getting appointments, either inviting them to an event, and they're open to coming to an event, or meeting with him. So if you really master this, I mean, this, like Jessica said, I mean, this is a license to steal, because you've got a target audience that is ripening at the right time. If you're, know what to say, if you have validity in the market, and you're making sure you're coming from contribution and adding value, so that they want to come and meet with you with curiosity.
Well, and then just another layer of mindset, just of opportunity you guys have right now. I'm going to tell you, as someone that was a team leader almost 18 years, this is like the hottest recruiting market that we've had since 2009 and 10. Okay. So if we went back in time, you would have this kind of opportunity then. And during that period of time, I had been a team leader for about 4 years. I doubled our office in like a year and a half. And it was because so many agents are moving because of this market getting tough, you guys. So it's like you got a extra special opportunity right now that we didn't even have a year ago. So if we literally went back in time a year ago and looked at your agent movement report for some of your bigger firms and compared it to today, I would bet $100 that you have 10 times more agents moving around and shuffling around just because times got tough than we've had. So this Heatseeker is even just one step further, saying, okay, of all the people running around and moving around and trying new brokerages and meeting with other brokerages, these are the ones that are most likely to talk to you right now. And there's a lot of different data points, but this is like the list. And being a team leader as long as I was, I know your lives are insanely busy, and not every day is 2 hours of lead gen. So if you're going to have an hour of lead gen, this is the list, right? This is the hit. So Rich and I are happy to share some successes with you. I've got one of my clients that set 22 appointments just focusing on this. They hadn't had success like that before. And so I hope you get a lot from today and that you take action.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to just piggyback, on what you were just saying there, Jessica, of recruiting season, the time of the year, why this is critical in terms of timing right now. A lot of the team leaders are newer to the role. A lot of the team leaders weren't even in real estate during the last market downturn, 13 years ago. So let's back up a little bit and explain why this is such an important time in recruiting season. First of all, statistically, the fourth quarter is when agents typically move, just in general, right? I've been coaching and in real estate for over 30 years and coaching over 20, and it's really always been the same, right? In the fourth quarter is when you have most of the movement of experienced agents. Why is that? Because they come off of the summer, fall starting, kids are back in school, they turn around and look at their business, and it's like, man, I need some momentum going to the holidays, right? I need some momentum. I need to change something going into the new year. So that mindset sets in where change is in the air. And statistically speaking, October, if you look at multi-year trends and you study the industry, October is the biggest appointment setting month of the year. Why? Because of that phenomenon. Agents are more curious this time of year because of all those things. Then, to Jessica's point, you throw the shift on top of that. Now, what's going to happen? You throw the shift on top of that. Now agents are saying, my gosh, my business is really down. I don't have a pipeline. I don't have any momentum. It's not me. Maybe changes in the air. Maybe I need to change my environment. Maybe I need to go talk to another brokerage. I'm open to coming to events and things that other people are putting on now because I'm looking for answers. So the timing of recruiting right now, here moving into recruiting season, is critical, and the Heatseeker is such a phenomenal tool. And we're going to move into some of the playbooks and the things that we have that will create curiosity to give them a reason to want to meet with you.
So yeah, if this was a movie, this would be called Perfect Storm, right?
They have one called Perfect Storm.
Perfect Recruiting Storm.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, I was trying to screen share. I was trying to steal your screen share, but I couldn't figure out how to do that, Rich. So I just wanted to take that screen off so we could see you when you were talking. And yet, what's next? So let's talk about. So hopefully you guys see the opportunity number one, and that Keller Williams is doing everything they can to give you every unfair advantage so that you can maximize the time you have to generate conversations. How? So Rich, let's practice. Let's share our slides, but then let's practice what we're going to do to get these conversations started. Now, everything Rich and I are going to share from people that are doing it. They're proven this works. And you all have a different voice, but I hope you get something from the 2 or 3 conversations we shared today.
Yes. So this first script, you wanna just kind of call me up, Jessica?
Yes. Well, is this? Oh yeah, this is mine, isn't it? I was just
Are you seeing the screen? Okay, I just want to make sure.
I'm going to look at the screen. Now, this is a great call, and I want to set the table a little. The reason why this works are a couple key phrases along the way. So I'm going to actually just read it. And I have several of my clients using this right now, coaching clients, and it's working because remember, someone on this list is not having a good time right now. They're not the zippity-doo-dah list. This is the Heatseeker list because things aren't easy right now for a number of reasons. So this is where ego and lifting people up, the script works because of that. So before you get on the phones, make sure you check your mood at the door and that you're feeling that. Like, I'm here to pump this person up. I'm here to lift them up because again, this person is struggling right now. And that is that's the magic of this. So make sure you sound like that when you're making this call. So ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, is this Rich Rector?
This is Rich.
Rich, it's Jessica Fox with Keller Williams. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. What can I help you with?
Great. Actually, I have to admit that I'm a really big fan of yours and your business. And frankly, I run the Keller Williams Clearwater office, and I hear such great things about you and how you run your business. And frankly, today I'm totally taking a leap of faith in calling you to see if you'd ever consider to meet with me to talk about opportunities in the market ahead. Would you be open to a meeting?
Well, I appreciate the call, Jessica, but I'm really don't want to move.
Yeah, I totally get it. And, I'm really a big fan of yours. And I just would love to establish a relationship with you so that if ever your broker makes an unpopular change or you're looking at making a business change, that I'd be the first person that you'd consider calling. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
So do you have some time for some coffee?
Sure, I can grab a cup of coffee.
Okay, and that's really kind of how this goes. And you're going to get a lot of no thanks, but you know what? Even if Rich responds like that and we don't get anything going, I've just razzle dazzled a little, right? I've made this guy feel good. He's like, who's this Jessica girl? I might consider, checking her out at some point, and one of the things we're going to share with you after we go through these conversation starters are what you could do next to keep it going. So we have a playbook. You have the MREA playbooks that you guys may have purchased. We've got a digital version we're going to share with you in a little bit of how I could keep that going, even if Rich says, no, thanks, Jess, too busy, or even blows me off and says, no, thanks at all,
Sure. And then so on the screen here, there's some additional conversations that you could add as objection handlers or add to the conversation that Jessica was just having with me, or you could use them as text. You could also use them as your actual conversation, right? If you want something different. For example, hey, we just had our mega agent camp in Austin with over 5,000 of the top agents in the industries on panels sharing ideas that are working in today's market. Ideas like TikTok, Instagram, AI, events, and more. And I have the playbook of the best strategies. Would you like a copy? So, if I was going to send that as a text, I would say, would you like a copy, and start an interaction that way. If I was on the phone with them, I wouldn't say, would you like a copy? Probably I would just say, and I'd love to get together with you and share with you these tactics and strategies that some of the top agents in real estate shared with us last month. And then if you say, I don't want to move, or I'm happy where I'm at, I'd say, hey, not a problem. These tactics and strategies are working in today's, changing market in our local market. And if you're interested in creating, additional momentum going into the fourth quarter, would love to meet with you. And as a special thank you, I'll give you a copy of this playbook. So that would be an example of how you could use lead into the playbooks as the carrot that that is going to create curiosity. Because remember, people are looking for ideas, strategies, to make more money in today's market, especially the people on the Heatseeker list, because as Jessica said, it's not the zippity-doo list. This is the people that are struggling. And so value added is we have material that they want, right? A direct offer conversation, again, could be a text. It could be just, hey, I have an exclusive offer for you. Are you interested in keeping more of what you make, growing your business with progressive tools and technology? When would you be available for a few minutes to discuss this week?
And that's a great one, Rich, especially if you go down your list and you see friendlies. And what I mean by that are people that you're buddies with, people that you've called before that are nice to you, or maybe they were at your office and they left. So if I had someone like that pop up on my list, I would, to change us just a tweak, I'd say, we miss you. And I went to bat for you and got an amazing offer from the investors to welcome you back. When can we get together? So you guys, this list is like magical. I hope you embrace it. It's not perfect, who cares, but it's like the best chance to, with the time you have as very crazy team leaders, busy. I know how you are, to really get some powerful conversations going quicker than invitation calls or co-broke thank yous. This is like a direct hit.
Yep, it's a target audience of people that are most likely to move. So it's like you're fishing in the pond where the fish are biting. So just throw some bait in there, pick one.
You know, and when you're going through this, if you're talking with, sometimes it's kind of fun to reference one of the playbook pages that you really think they're going to be into. So if I see Anna Brown hits my list and I know she's like the social media goddess, or she's all over social media and I usually see her, I'm going to be like, you know, Anna, there's this one where Rachel Adams Lee shares her step by step, and you know, she got 216 Facebook deals last year. You know, I think that one would be a good one to run by you. You know, so if you know anything about the person in front of you, you can pull a page out and emphasize it. And again, that will really hit home as well. And if you don't know who they are, don't worry about any of that. But again, if you have friendlies or anyone that you're somewhat aware of, that's kind of a fun way to go one step further. Now, the playbooks, some of you got them, some of you are still waiting. I'm still waiting. And they are going to be hot, hot, hot. So what we did, Rich and I, for our recruiting collective members, is we put together this killer playbook, and it's all of the one pagers. It's digital. If you aren't a member, you can go in and become a trial member, and we would be happy to give you one just so you can get using it today. But there are 2 versions. Rich, can I get screen share so I can show this?
Sure. Do I just need to say stop share?
Yeah, I think so.
There you go.
I hope. Let me just double check. So let me just show you this, because here's the thing. Have the KW playbook or this digital one, whatever you have. Let's just say we're in person. You might have a physical book, but we'll use this as our example. Now, before I dive into this share or how I would use the book or the book you're getting in the mail, the books you ordered, there is 2 versions, and I just want to explain why. There's a lot of pages. There's a lot of one pages. If you guys looked at it, you can kind of drown in them actually, because this with all of them is 59 pages. So first of all, that'd be a little insane to just go send off to someone, and you lose control of the conversation if you give everything away. So we made 2 versions for you guys to use. One, the big one, we have a little red thing on the top that says instructor edition. That's going to be all of them. So when you're meeting with your agents and you want to show all of them, that's all of them. When you want to work with someone potentially about an appointment, you wouldn't want to send 78 pages or whatever. So we have a shortened version that is still branded to you. We have Rich and I on this one, just for example's sake. But in it, there's a great call to action that is basically saying we want to meet with you, we want to share how we give our agents value. And again, it's branded to you as kind of a call to action. And then what we did is we just picked a diverse group of the hottest ones. So whoever you're talking with, if they're old school and they're going to door knock and they're not doing TikTok, there's something for everyone in here. So we want you to be able to use this just as if you had the book right in front of you. And if it's someone that you can't afford to give all these books away to everybody, this would be another digital option, so affordable. So beyond that, there's a million ways you can use that, as Rich shared, just with tying in. But again, if I called Rich with the script I shared at first, and you weren't like fired up to meet with me and you kind of blew me off, I'd say, you know what, thanks for taking my call. I am super big fan. Remember that, and check your inbox. I want to give you a gift. I want to share with you what the most innovative agents in the world are doing right now, and all these different facets of lead gen. And it's something we have for our agents, and I'd love to share it with you. Thanks again. And I'm just going to end the call, and I'm going to leave it on a high note with Rich. And Rich is going to check out what I'm texting him or what I'm sending him, because he's going to be curious. And yet the next time I call Rich, invite him to something or whatever, how do you think that'll go? Do you think it'll go better? Absolutely. So it's kind of that reciprocity of value kind of thing that happens naturally with the mind, where if you give value to someone, even if they didn't ask for it, you know, that you just level up with them in so many ways. So I hope you guys feel confident with what Jason Abrams put together for you using it, because it is gold, and it is kind of like a sweet spot for lead generation for so many people in so many different ways. And for those of you that want to access it and just get a trial, go for it by visiting our website.
Yep. And then that page in the middle, if you want to just take a picture of it or something, I mean, that's kind of the language you can use if you were going to send this playbook out, or any playbooks out, to create a call to action. Okay. All right. So before we open it up to some questions, we have our Rockstar recruiting program that is launching in October. And we wanted to personally invite you to participate in this. It's going to be a weekly, intense, fast-moving 90-day program. It's only $299 a month for 3 months, 12 sessions, and there's going to be live interaction, role play, real play. We're going to be focusing on experienced agent recruiting for the market of the moment right now, which is recruiting season, to level up your recruiting. We've got great strategies, tactics, just like we showed you today, some great hacks. Obviously, we're going to focus on skill building with the needs analysis, appointment setting, right? Handling objections, your recruiting presentation, which is obviously critically important. So it's a skill building class and getting to action class, as well as a high-end training class to teach you the new strategies, tips, and skills to experienced agent recruiting. So there's the QR code there if you want to get more information, and that's our MAPS Rockstar recruiting program.
Some of you may have seen our marketing that we were starting September 21st. That's the same day Mark King's got a different class for recruiting. So we decided to change our dates so we're not confusing to everybody. And here's what I would emphasize. Each week we tackle another foundational piece for your recruiting system. Like the first week, we tackle all the lead sources, and we have actually extra materials to share with you about like Indeed ad examples, like the stuff that you guys might be missing out on that are all the extra appointments that you could be getting. So this is like putting your foundation in place so that you're not killing yourself trying to do this, and you're scaling yourself as you do it. It also is about getting confidence, you guys. How many people have you seen recruit? Maybe only a couple people, and maybe you haven't found your own voice, or you don't have a total confidence in R2s. Truth is, I never really sold real estate. I sold commercial with land with my parents, but it wasn't like legit. And yet I've been coaching $100,000, $1 million producers my whole life. And I didn't have confidence day one in that. And so the other part is if you lean on personality, probably more than you should, and not enough KW or not enough MREA, we're going to kind of teach how to flip the switch on that a little. So hope you can join us. We'd love to have you. It'd be a lot of fun. And yet, what kind of questions do you guys have?
Yeah, who has some questions?
You can give us any zinger you're running into, any problem. Tell us what you're running into. We want to help you.
Yep, you can either come off of mute or put it in the chat. Heatseeker, anything we talked about, the playbooks. I mean, guys, remember, we have all these different playbooks. It's not just the MREA and the Mega Camp stuff, right? We've got the AI one that just came out, the database, open house. We've got all these different playbooks that you can use to create curiosity. Setting appointments, you have 10 seconds to create curiosity over the phone, right? And you want to wow them with something that they want. And most people right now want strategies and tactics to get more leads so that they can make more money. And we have this gift of all these great playbooks that KWI put together that you could choose from to dangle in front of them to create curiosity, get them in front of you for a fourth quarter business strategy meeting, right? To go through it.
Rich,
Yes.
oh, just quick question. There is this question that was here. So with regards to Mega Camp, since I haven't been there, are we going to be able to get the copy of it from the Mega Camp, like with the best strategies for this year? Or how can we get it?
Yeah, so yeah, there's a couple ways to get it. Is one is the MRA playbook that if you ordered that, you'll get the hard copy of the book. There's also some of the one sheets and through Command and KW Connect. And then we've put together this playbook that we showed you today that you can go to myrecruitingcollective.com and ask for it. And we'll give you a copy of that, myrecruitingcollective.com.
I'll put it in the chat. And if you just want to become a trial member, we'll brand it for you. And thank you for that compliment in the chat about Recruiting Collective. We appreciate it. Hey, we're always trying to find value for you guys, and sharing intel of what's working is the key. So just remember, even if you're the most perfect team leader in the universe and you have 10 new R2s you talk to every week and you only take 2 weeks vacation, you're only talking to 500 people a year, you guys. You got 500 people a month moving around you. So Just remember that. You need to be giving out MOFers. You cannot rely on your own voice. You've got to use all the systems around you. And if you look at the MLS, that's your farm. Are you farming? And are you using your sphere properly to get referrals? Most of the hires we're seeing are by referral. Are you working that route? You know, your roster is your sphere of influence. Your affiliate relationships are your sphere of influence. So think of it that way, because there's so much opportunity right now. And yet, if you're just trying to do this alone, you're going to really miss out on a lot. So we want to expand your thinking on, when you think recruiting, you think recruiting systems, recruiting team, not just a one-man band. And if you're trying to function like that, that's really tough. You know, it's tough to keep gross 10, all the appointments, you know, especially in months like October when you've got ALC clinic and everything else that I know you guys have. Budgets, that's exciting. Right?
Yes.
Okay, any other? Yes, Mark.
Hi. How many times do we meet? I know the format for the Rockstar recruiting program is digital and group. How many days a week do we meet with that? And I apologize, I haven't looked through the format yet.
It's once a week, 1 hour, but we implement something massive during that week. And then we have, throughout the 12 weeks, to keep energy going, because we know how it is, we've got a couple breakout special sessions that are your choice if you participate, but like going in deep or role playing the whole thing for you so that you can kind of put it together. So sporadically throughout the 12 weeks where it makes sense, we have some extra pop-up classes. And then throughout that, you'll be invited to a bunch more as well. Our goal is that you end with putting all your foundation in place, but you are getting major swagger and confidence in what you're doing. Because again, I recruited from personality most of my career. And then when I flipped the switch to add in value, everyone moved 10 times faster. I was like, this is awesome. And many of you are stuck there, and I get it. It's just not, you're learning to be better. You're learning to be a more technical recruiter. This requires training, guys, just like listings. You know, look at your own agents. There's plenty of agents that just don't even go for listings because they don't level up. You know, they don't practice negotiating or overcoming objections or defending their commission, and they just work buyers. Well, you can do that and hire R0s, or you got to level up if you want to hire R2s. It's just that simple, you know?
Yeah. So it's a skills class. So just like all pro athletes have coaches and they work on their skills, that's what this is. This is a program that's going to teach you how to master the needs analysis, which, you know, if we're getting good at setting appointments, but we don't know what to say at the appointment, then we got a problem, just like Jessica said with listing appointments. Then it's going to be what's the presentation, how to master the 10-step recruiting presentation in a way that you're not overselling people, but you're presenting our benefits and getting them to see that the gap they have in their business can be resolved by plugging into the tools and systems that we have. Then it's going to be handling objections and lead follow-up and closing. And we're going to take each call is going to go through to help you master how to do those things, how to leverage your hires, how to turn one hire into 3 hires, you know, through following a specific format. So it is like selling real estate. How do you turn one listing into multiple transactions? How do you get a listing appointment? What do you do at the listing appointment to win it? Right? What's the follow-up look like? And all those things, that's what we do with recruiting as well. And it's a skill-based program. So recruiting at a high level is really mastering a system, and skills is one piece of it, but it's also having the right system, knowing how often to follow up with people, what to send, what to say, how to create curiosity, understanding that agents don't want to move. They're happy where they're at. They didn't wake up today hoping to get a recruiting call from somebody, right? And so how do you win that game and move them around the bases so that you're setting up these people that don't want to move, that all of a sudden end up joining you because you got them to self-discover that they have gaps in their business that they can't overcome, even though they like their broker. And the only solution is either stay where you're at and hope, or cross the line, step over the line in the sand, so that you can further your career. And it's an art to be able to do that. It's not just about, you know, having a great personality and talking to people, because you have to navigate through a lot of different pieces there, and you really need to have the skill on knowing what to say and how to to psychologically get people to the place to where they're open to change.
So join us, spread the word. Let's go have some fun and recruit a bunch of people fourth quarter, guys. If you need anything, reach out to us. We're here for you, and make it a great day.
Yep. Thanks for being here.
Hey, Jessica or
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
quick question. If I'm already in my recruiting collective, how does the Rockstar recruiting partner with this, or even like further cement? Like, is it worth being in both programs? I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah, they're totally separate programs. And if you're a member of my recruiting collective, you get a 20% discount on Rockstar recruiting.
Okay.
And yes, recruiting collective is where you get content like these gifts, like these playbooks. We give you a gift every month. You're part of an exclusive membership Facebook community where we do special things. Rockstar recruiting is a skills training program that teaches you how to be a master recruiter. So it's a training class that is 12 sessions that build off of each other. So it's different, right? The community is not a training program, right?
Got it.
So those are the differences. And then somebody also asked in the chat, what's the difference between this and 30, 60, 90? Well, one is it's about a tenth the cost. And instead of daily, it's a weekly call. And this is specifically focused on recruiting, where 3069 is focused on the overall, team leader role, if you will. You're doing other things than just recruiting. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. There's, other differences, but that's kind of the main thing. This is like you're going to a 12-hour training class. And that's kind of what this is. And everybody needs training. Training is different than coaching, right? And if you're at a place where you need to level up your skills in any of those areas, then that's what Rockstar Recruiting will do. Okay, everybody, thanks for being here. You know how to get a hold of us. If you have other questions, we're happy to talk to you individually, whatever you need. Thanks again for being here, everyone. We appreciate you. Bye-bye.